Live from Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater Township, Baycats TV presents Intercounty Baseball. Tonight it's the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Barrie Baycats. Hi again, everyone. I'm Ben Davy along with Julius Hern. If you're wondering about our attire, it is tropical shirt night here at Vintage Throne Stadium. We brought the shirts. We're still waiting for the pina coladas. I don't know, did you see a cocktail bar on your way in or anything?
No, I didn't, but I was listening to Margaritaville on my way to the ballpark today, so I'm right in the mood for tonight's ball game.
That is perfect. Well, both of these teams looking to bring some tropical heat to the field here tonight. The Leafs have been anything but losers of their last 4 straight. Baycats coming off a win last night, but they've been hot and cold over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. They've lost 3 of their last 6, alternating wins and losses in that stretch, but a huge win last night against the Brantford Red Sox right here at Vintage Throne Stadium, so definitely some momentum on the Baycats side heading into this Highway 400 rivalry. Let's
go down to field level now and join our always sunny, tropical public address announcer, Rob Daniels, to take us through the starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to Vintage Throne Stadium for season number 23 of Barrie Baycats Baseball. Tonight's Intercounty Baseball League game features the visiting Toronto Maple Leafs and your Barrie Baycats. Here are the starting lineups. First for the Toronto Maple Leafs, managed by Rob Butler. Batting first in center field, number 35, Lucas Alberti. Batting second, the first baseman, number 5, Jordan Castaldo. Batting third, the catcher, number 9, Justin Mara. Batting fourth at third base, number 17, Jonathan Solazzo. Batting fifth in right field, number 29, Marcus Connect. Batting sixth in left field, number 8, Ryan DeSantos. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 44, Cole Murchison. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 6, Dan Mara. And batting ninth at shortstop, number 1, Jose Vinicio. On the mound for the Maple Leafs tonight, number 47, Wilhennis Alvarado. And now, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first in center field, number 9, Canis Ejo. Batting second, the shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns. Batting third, the right fielder, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 29, Malik Williams. Batting fifth at third base, number 55, Hayden Jaco. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 28, Noah Hull. Batting seventh in left field, number 2, Ricky Phillips. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Plumpton. And batting ninth at second base, number 47, Brad McQuinn. On the mound tonight for your Baycats, number 31, Benitez. Here are the umpires for tonight's game. Calling the balls and strikes, we have Preston Hughes. At first base, Ryan Jackson. And at third base, Francesco DiBiase. Fans, tonight is Tropical Night, presented by Tropical North Plants, and we would like to thank them for providing lays to the first 200 fans at the ballpark tonight. In addition, each fan in attendance will walk away with a personal plant, so thank you to Tropical North Plants for your support. Fans, can you please rise, if you are able to, and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. it's time now for our ceremonial first pitch. Tropical North Plants specializes in tropical plants for homes and offices. They have been open for 4 years now and are Simcoe County's best selection of rare and unusual house plants. We would like to welcome the owner of Tropical North Plants here tonight, Kira Luck, who will throw out tonight's ceremonial first pitch. Kira, it's your pitch.
Way to go, Kira. That's big league stuff right there. Our first pitch. And thanks to Tropical North for being a part of tonight's special Tropical Shirt Night here at the ballpark. We're ready for a lot of fun at Vintage Throne Stadium. Let's look at the lineup for Rob Butler's Maple Leafs. It's Lucas Alberti, the center fielder, leading off. Jordan Castaldo, the former Barrie Baycat, at first base batting second. Justin Mara, the catcher, bats third. John Salazzo, the hard-hitting third baseman, in the cleanup spot. Marcus Connect bats fifth. Ryan DeSantos in right, batting sixth. Cole McCutcheon batting seventh. The DH, the second baseman, is Dan Mara. And Jose Vinicio in the number 9 spot at shortstop.
On the mound for the Barrie Baycats, the big Dominican is Juan Benitez, making his 6th appearance of the season, but his 3rd start. Had a couple relief appearances in there with a couple saves, but his first start of the season was against these Maple Leafs on opening night at Vintage Throne Stadium. Coming in tonight, a .393 ERA and 16 innings pitched on the year.
Juan, 32 years old, from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, and he is back for his 4th season here in Barrie. And some newcomers on this Barrie Baycat pitching staff to add some depth has allowed Josh Matlow the flexibility to use Benitez out of the bullpen on occasion. He's kind of split action between the rotation and the bullpen this year.
Well, this is a huge stretch for the Baycats, and they're definitely going to need Juan Benitez to have a strong outing tonight. This is the second of a stretch where the Baycats have 5 games in 6 nights. And with Frank Garces kind of battling a little bit of a calf injury, he should be back next Thursday, but they're really extending the pitching staff heading into this weekend.
Baycats will get tomorrow off before heading down to Welland on Saturday. That'll be a big game against the reigning IBL champion Welland Jackfish. And Baycats always get excited for matchups against Welland after last year's IBL finals. Back here on Sunday afternoon, we'll get to see the Brantford Red Sox for the 2nd time this week. And then it's down in London for the Canada Day matchup with the Majors on Monday afternoon. As Alberti steps in, Benitez steps off. They throw the ball around the horn, and we are about ready for the opening pitch here tonight at Vintage Throne Stadium. 7:39, a beautiful Thursday night. First time in recent memory that the Baycats have had back-to-back games on this field at home, but last night's game rescheduled, postponed game from a couple of weeks ago. Benitez winds, and the first offering is up high and in. That'll dust back Alberti, and we are underway.
Yeah, didn't have any back-to-back home games last year at all, but we're going to see it again in 2 weeks' time.
Right back and into the glove of Benitez. An absolute scorcher, and he takes it for the first out of the inning as we look at the defense for the Baycats behind Juan Benitez.
Well, here's the Baycats defense in the outfield from left to right. Ricky Phillips, Kenny Sejo, Noel McGarry-Doyle in the outfield. On the infield, Hayden Jaco gets the start at third with Carson Burns back at shortstop. Brad McQuinn gets the start at second base with Noah Hall making his second appearance of the season at first base, with Tyler Plumpton back at it behind the dish for Juan Benitez.
Well, and for the first time in recent memory, more boos than cheers for Jordan Castaldo as he's introduced. So maybe enough time has passed since his MVP tenure here in Barrie. The fans finally treating him as an opponent. But he'll always have a special bond with his team and this organization. Not many of these players, though, left over from his time here. A called strike as he's taking all away.
Yeah, definitely a huge part of those championship teams in the mid-2010s and mid to late 2010s, pardon me, for the Baycats.
Castaldo absolutely loves playing here in Barrie, whether it's as a Baycat or now as a visitor with the Maple Leafs. But a couple of fans were grinding his gears as he was announced, and he sort of looked over his shoulder and gave him a grin, taking it all in good spirit.
It definitely must have surprised him a little bit, but didn't see that from the crowd here at Vintage Throne Stadium on opening night, that's for sure.
He has had some big games against the Baycats since joining Toronto, no question about that. That pitch is off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Home plate umpire is Preston Hughes. Ryan Jackson at first. Francesco DiBiase behind the bag at third. Castaldo doing a little bit of groundswork in the box as he gets his footing. Benitez winds and the 1-2 incoming. And a little flare to first base, and it's an easy catch for Noah Hall. A couple of line drives to start this ball game, and there's 2 away.
Catcher number 9, Justin Mara.
Well, great defensive performance so far from Benitez and Noah Hall over there, but if you're Juan Benitez, you really want to limit that hard contact. It's been something that's been kind of eating him in the early innings of his starts, whether it's this year or last year.
Justin Mara to the plate now for the Maple Leafs with 2 out here on the top of the first inning. Benitez deals, and the pitch is in the dirt.
Benitez not usually much of a strikeout pitcher, but he has 13 through 16 innings this year.
It's a called strike, 1-1. Got a brand new scoreboard in right field. Maybe we'll get a shot of that for you at some point. You can take a look at our first game, enjoying that. Beautiful display over the right field fence. Best scoreboard that this park has seen. Replacing the old one that had been there for a long time. The video board was added a couple years before the pandemic, I believe. 1-2. And it's lifted foul over near the Toronto bullpen.
It was pretty cool seeing, some of the Baycats in the outfield warming up before the game, and they were saying that they don't even remember what the old one looks like anymore.
Well, I kind of forgot as well. But you look at that and it's like, wow, it's, we got the inning by inning run totals. You got the pitch count as well. That'll certainly be helpful.
And the Home with the Baycats banner right underneath looks really sharp as well.
Here's the pitch from Benitez. And it's popped into foul territory. Left side, and will it be playable? Yes! The catch is made by the third baseman, Hayden Jaco, right up against the top of the railing. So it's 3 up, 3 down for Toronto in the top of the first. No score here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The best of the Intercounty Baseball League descend on the Rose City on July 20th as the 2023 Dominico Cup champion Welland Jackfish and Welland Stadium host the 2024 Intercounty Baseball League All-Star Showdown and Home Run Derby.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Hi, I'm Christy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium for the bottom of the first inning. It's brought to you by McDonald's in Barrie, home of the free fries with 5 Baycat strikeouts.
Canisijo, Carson Burns, Noel McGarry Doyle do up 1-2-3 for Barrie in the bottom of the first inning. Malik Williams, Hayden Jaco, Noah Hull to follow. And the bottom third of the order tonight is Ricky Phillips in left, Tyler Plumpton behind the plate, and Brad McQuinn at second base.
And on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs is Wilhennis Alvarado, arguably their most important starter. They've really relied on him a ton of innings so far this year.
Hard-throwing left-hander, joined the Leafs last year after 3 seasons in the Toronto Blue Jays organization.
He leads the team in innings pitched with 27, but he sports a 7.33 ERA.
Called strike to Ejo, and it's 0-2. Baycats wearing their vintage red jerseys here at Vintage Throne Stadium tonight and every Thursday night this season. Throwback Thursday. On the ground, 2-hopper, taken by Benicio. Easy throw to first in time, 1 away.
Give the defense for the Toronto Maple Leafs behind Wilhennis Alvarado. Ryan Dos Santos is in left field. Lucas Alberti in right. Marcus Connect in right field. And on the infield, John Salazzo, Jose Benicio on the left side. Dan Mara, and Jordan Castaldo on the right side. With Justin Mara behind the dish.
Carson Burns back in the number 2 spot. He had himself a day when the Kitchener Panthers were here last weekend. In the number 2 spot in the order. Got on base 4 times in 5 plate appearances. Couple walks, couple of singles. Stole a couple of bases, and he's back in the 2-hole tonight. Josh Matlow, of course, had limited flexibility when the Red Sox were here last night, as that was a postponed game which required keeping as many players in their original spots in the batting order as possible. Anybody that had to be substituted would be considered ineligible for the remainder of the game. So Burns started that game in his usual number 9 spot in the order and remained there. Fouled off at home plate, and that caught part of the inside of his ankle. He'll need a couple minutes to walk that off.
Literally, it bounced up and got him in on the hands, too. Burns was telling me pregame that, because him being up in the 2 spot is, already seemed to have paid off for him. Looks to be a permanent thing for now until maybe his performance starts slipping again, then you might move him around again.
When Noel McGarry Doyle rejoined the club, he was immediately put into the 2 spot, and now with Burns in the number 2 position, that gives Josh Matlow the ability to move McGarry Doyle down to 3. Three-two pitch, and it's a called strike. Burns taking all the way, not happy with it, and he goes down looking.
Right fielder number 95, Noel.
So 2 outs for Noel McGarry Doyle, the right fielder.
This guy's still hot to start his IBL season with the Baycats. Hits in every game he's played with the Baycats so far this year.
Lefty-lefty matchup here, and taking all the way is McGarry Doyle. It catches the inside corner. Malik Williams rejoining the Baycats. He's on deck. Back here for a couple of weeks. And this one to center field. It'll drop for a base hit. Baycats get their first base runner. It's a 2-out single. And here comes Malik Williams. As
Great
Doyle
hustle
gets all the way
there.
to second.
Designated hitter number 29.
Great hustle there. Looks like he kind of caught Alberti sleeping in center field. Took advantage of maybe some Alberti getting slow to get that ball back into the infield, and heads up base running from McGarry Doyle. Makes that base hit look so easy, just going right back up the middle on the hanging breaking ball.
Caught me sleeping too, as that looked like a single and nothing else. I was looking down at my scorebook and looked back up, and there he is at second base. So gotta love that aggressive base running by Noel McGarry Doyle. Malik Williams welcomed back by the crowd here at Vintage Throne Stadium after a brief tenure away at the Frontier League, and he's back now for a few games.
Relative to his success in the IBL, kind of struggled a little bit in his time, his brief tenure in the Frontier League. 9 games, hit 200.
Curveball for a strike. 1-1.
6 for 30 with the Ottawa Titans of the Frontier League this season.
429 average through 6 games here. And they are happy to have him in the lineup as much as possible. A roller between short and third. It's into left field. And McGarry Doyle is going to test the arm of Ryan DeSantos. He's in. 1-0 Baycats on an RBI single by Malik Williams.
Third baseman, number 55.
Almost looked like the third baseman, Salazzo, might have had a play on that ball. It kind of rolled right in between him and Jose Vinicio, but his first instinct was to cover the bag. If he might have gone for the ball there, he might have had a shot to end this inning.
So Barrie gets on the board first, and Hayden Jaco, the third baseman now. Off to an outstanding start here in 2024. And first pitch swinging right back to Alvarado, and it's too far out of his reach to have a play. Very similar to that scorcher that Juan Benitez took earlier in the game, and he'll come out and just make sure that he's okay.
Yeah, right off the chest, maybe the pectoral area. He's going to have a little bit of a medical check here from Maple Leafs coaching staff. Came off the mound really slowly to go get that ball. You can tell he was kind of wincing as he was going after it, but looks like he's okay.
Can't recall the last time we had 2 line drives right back at the pitcher within 1 inning, but that's what we've seen here so far. As Benitez had a hot one to deal with earlier. Fortunately for Benitez, it was a little bit off to his left. So still a tough catch to make, but it wasn't square at him the way that one was to Alvarado. He had to react quickly, and that ball looked like it hit him pretty good. So 2 on for the Baycats with 2 outs. This is Noah Hull. First pitch swinging, and it's strike 1. One nothing Barrie on an RBI single by Malik Williams. He's at second. Jaco's at first. Baycats making some noise here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Alvarado deals, and the count is even 1-1.
Noah Hull, another Baycat, who's kind of off to a quietly hot start to this season, hitting .324 through 11 games.
Swings through that one, strike 2.
Not to mention he's got 7 RBIs in those 11 games. Another chance right here.
He has certainly found his spot in this lineup offensively. Swings and misses. Strike 3. So a strikeout. The Baycats strand 2, but they get a run and lead 1-0 after an inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. We're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Baycats in the first, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Julius Hern, Ben Davy with you at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's the Maple Leafs and the Baycats for the third time this season. Barrie on top 1-0 through an inning. Part of the order due up for Toronto. John Salazzo, Marcus Connect, and Ryan Dos Santos. And anytime you face those three, you want to do so as Juan Benitez is about to right here with nobody on. And a clean inning to start. These are some big RBI producers for the Leafs.
And Salazzo, first team All-Star last year in the IBL, and he's off to another hot start, hitting .303 for the Leafs.
Leafs trying to snap out of a 4-game losing skid and avoid their 9th straight loss to Barrie. That's a streak that dates back to the 2022 playoffs. Fouled off to the left. Leafs' last win was June 16th, so that was 11 days ago. That was an 11-5 win over Brantford at Christie Pitts 2 Sunday afternoons ago.
And they're in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. Their last one on Sunday to Hamilton, 12-1 loss at home.
Hamilton's offensive powerhouse team this year. From all early indications, they could put up some double-digit run totals. We saw that here in Barrie a few weeks ago. Another foul ball.
It really seems like the top half of the league to this point has really separated themselves, offensively especially.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Benitez deals and is fouled back to the screen. Well, last night's win put the Baycats in sole possession of third for now. So they're trying to hang tough with the top half of that IBL in the standings. 2.5 games behind Welland. Welland really off to a torrid start again this season. Baycats 10-5. Carson Burns, the routine play. 1 out. 4 in a row retired by Juan Benitez.
Right fielder number 29, Marcus.
Toronto 6-13. So they are 8.5 back of Welland, and they are just 1 game ahead of last place Kitchener. And that's what every team in this league needs to be wary of this year, is staying out of the basement, because for the first time in recent memory, there will be a team that misses the playoffs this year, and you don't want to find yourself too close to that number 9 position late in the season.
You mentioned Welland. They got off to a bit of a rough start to their standards, but they've won 10 in a row now after a huge win a couple nights ago.
Baycats well aware of that, I'm sure, and would love to snap that streak when they visit Welland on Saturday night. .1-0 from Benitez. Pitch is low. And Juan behind now, 2 balls, no strikes. So the Baycats 8-0 against the Maple Leafs in their last 8 matchups. They won the first 2 scheduled games this season, 5-4 and 11-3. And they're going to be here again next week. 1 week from tonight on Thursday, July 4th. Toronto's next visit.
I was talking to Baycats third base coach Andrew White before the game, and he said it really seems to be like a psychology to, like, whenever you play a certain team, like you either can't get over the hump or you always have this team's number. And it seems like between these 2 teams, the Leafs and the Baycats, that's exactly what's going on.
Well, when you talk to fans, there's always excitement about Toronto coming to town, whatever it is, the big city, the 400 rivalry, whatever you want to call it. But Toronto seems to create a little bit of extra buzz. And a called strike 3. Benitez battling back now. It's 3-2. Talk to fans and they ask you, who are the Baycats playing this week? And as soon as you say Toronto, that creates a little bit of extra interest. 3-2. And it's a fly ball to right center field. And that is going to drop and go all the way to the fence. Center fielder Canisijo picks it up. It's a stand-up double for Marcus Connect. And the Maple Leafs get their first base runner of the evening.
Left fielder number 8, Ryan Dos Santos.
Starting to get that way with Welland, too. Toronto and Welland, kind of the 2 teams that Baycat fans always have their eye on, those scheduled games.
What's funny, that's how the conversation came up, because it seemed like it was a conversation with Chris Lazar as well. He was mentioning how last year it seemed like after the first couple games of the finals, Welland just kind of, put pedal to the metal and, took those last 2 games decisively, and have had Barrie's numbers already this year with a couple wins.
Fans love seeing an opponent that has a bit of a storyline to them, and even Major League Baseball, I know fans, they look at the Blue Jays schedule and you circle the games against the Yankees. The Dodgers are coming to town, you want to see them. And any of these teams with the star power and the interesting storylines. One and one, the count to Ryan Dos Santos. And Benitez checks the runner, the leg kick, and the pitch, and it's fouled away. Cole Murchison, the DH, is on deck. Here's the pitch. A little roller to third. Up with a Jaco, long throw, and it's not in time. It was a very slow roller by the time it found its way to Jaco's glove. He didn't have a whole lot of time to throw that ball all the way across from pretty close to the third base bag where he was positioned.
Dos Santos didn't get he got his foot on the bag, but really awkwardly stepping off and maybe rolled his ankle as he got onto the bag, and he's down in a little bit of pain just on the grass behind first base.
So they'll get some assistance for him, and hopefully he's okay. It's a tough way to go down trying to leg out an infield hit, and he had the afterburners on. Looks like he's going to need a pinch runner.
Yeah, they've it didn't seem like that dangerous of a play from defensive standpoint.
Jordan Castaldo went running out there, but he's not going to be used as a pinch runner, obviously. Dos Santos just checking to see if he can stay in. Maybe they'll leave him in.
It looks like he's walking okay. It doesn't seem to be a limp there. It does happen. I've been there many times where you roll your ankle and you're out of it for maybe a minute or two, and then give it some time and fight back at it, and good as new.
A lot of it depends on how much weight is going on that ankle when you roll it. If I roll my ankle, I'm in big trouble. Fortunately, it hasn't happened, knock on wood, in a game situation. But so we have runners at first and second.
Designated hitter number 44.
Connect had to stay put on that roller to third. So 2 on, Murchison to the plate. 1 out here in the top of the second inning.
It was such an odd batted ball. Like he had a pretty good swing on it, and he didn't look like he was late on the ball by any means, but just where it caught the bat.
To second. They go to short for 1. The relay to first, and it's in time. 1 pitch gets Juan Benitez and the Baycats off the field. That's a 4-6-3 double play to end the top half of the second. So the Leafs strand a runner. We played an inning and a half. It's 1-0 Barrie here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
No errors and 1 went on base.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. 1-0 Baycats as we enter the second inning, and it's brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate. Servicing Simcoe region for over a decade.
And here's the season first, a mosquito in the second inning. And out comes the bug spray on tropical shirt night. What is wrong with this picture? I'd much rather have the tropical shirt than the bug spray with me tonight. It's a cool evening here at the ballpark. Cooler than last night even. Baycats in the second will send the bottom third. Ricky Phillips, Tyler Plumpton, Brad McQuinn. Fouled at home plate. Dead ball. And it snowballs in 2 strikes. Alvarado turned 24 this year from Maracao, Venezuela. That smooth, easy delivery. Throws 90 plus with very little effort. That one's low, 1-2. Good job by Phillips to lay that one off, keep the at-bat alive.
I think anytime you can get a left-hander that with his size and stature, huge advantage for your ball club.
This one right to the mound. Alvarado spins, fires in time. Phillips retired, and here's the catcher, Tyler Plumpton.
Catcher number 44, Tyler Plumpton.
Love seeing that pitch count, those pitch count totals on the scoreboard now. We don't need to use our fingers and toes anymore. So 22 pitches for Alvarado, 28 for Juan Benitez. If I'm reading that correctly. So yeah, the Barrie pitcher is in the pitch clock for Barrie and Toronto for Toronto, which makes sense. Might take a couple of games just to get your eyes used to that scoreboard there and where the count is and everything, because as much as I love it, the count doesn't jump out at you as much as it did on the old one.
Yeah, on the bottom, it used to be on the bottom of the old scoreboard, kind of separated from the rest of the numbers.
There were huge numbers and you couldn't miss them. Now we've got more numbers on a bigger scoreboard, which is great. It's just a matter of training your eye to find that ball and strike. This one just rolls foul. Good move by Salazzo to just let that one go. 1-1 the count.
There actually also is a net in front of that scoreboard now.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, so there didn't used to be a big net in front of the old one. Now there is. Maybe just making sure they make this one last for sure.
We won't have any Robert Redford shattering scoreboards here at the ballpark. That was a reference to the movie The Natural. That screen will protect it from any home runs. Yeah, I mean, that scoreboard where it is, it would get banged quite a bit. A lot of home runs land there, so that's definitely a smart idea. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and it's a broke. The bat didn't break, it flew out of his hands. Strike 3. Wasn't sure if Plumpton's bat caught a piece of that ball or not, but it didn't.
Well, he doesn't wear any batting gloves, so maybe just got away from him there for sure. And high pitch, you don't really see him strike out all that often.
3 strikeouts for Alvarado tonight, and it's Brad McQuinn, the number 9 hitter. McQuinn has found his way into the lineup quite a bit this season. Good versatile player, can play infield and outfield spots. Second base tonight.
It's funny, he was mentioning to me the other day, he came up in college as an infielder, but the Baycats have used him more as an outfielder in his IBL career.
That one hit him up high, just below the shoulder. 2-out base runner for the Baycats. McQuinn is okay as he makes his way down to first base.
Center fielder number 9, Kenny Ejo.
The new scoreboard here at Vintage Throne Stadium also has a clock in the top left corner, and I'm not sure if that's equipped to perhaps accommodate a pitch clock if it were to happen in the IBL at some point, but it's there, so it could be used for that. Or maybe just to let us know what time it is. Right now it's just got zeros on it.
Clock does not work in scoreboard mode.
So we're told the clock does not work in scoreboard mode, which is what it's in right now. So
Scoreboard is off.
you'd have to have, I guess you'd have to have it, an online feed or something for the clock to work.
No,
I don't know, maybe not.
you can set it. It's already set. When you turn the scoreboard on, it displays the clock.
Over the mound, a short, and they'll go to second for the force out. Benicio to Mara to retire Brad McQuinn. So the Baycats unable to get on the board in the second inning. It's still 1-0 Barrie through 2 here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
For the Baycats in inning number 2, no runs, no hits, no errors.
Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original two men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. Two small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Third inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's 1-0 Baycats. Ben Davy and Julius Hern with you. Brian Backland, our producer. Rob Daniels, our PA announcer. Kendra Doyle, our on-field stadium host, in-game host. Dan Mara, Jose Vinicio, Lucas Alberti for the Leafs here on the top of the third inning. Juan Benitez with 28 pitches through 2 innings. He'll face the bottom part of the order for the first time here. Misses on the first offering, 1-0.
Mentioned earlier, Benitez has kind of gone in between starting and coming out of the bullpen this year. His last outing was a 3-inning save. Actually leads the Baycats in saves, with 2.
Foul back to the screen.
I asked him earlier today whether he personally feels the difference between, warming up as a starter or as a reliever.
Right side, behind the bag at first, and the catch is made. 1 out.
Shortstop number 1, Jose Vinicio.
Benitez told me that when he is coming out of the bullpen, he usually feels more rushed, and understandably so. You're available throughout the entire game and don't necessarily know when you're going to be put in the game. So once you're asked to get up, you got to get up in a hurry and get as warm as you can before you're called upon.
Well, most Baycat fans wouldn't expect Juan Benitez to have more saves than Brad Grieveson at this point in the season, but Brad got his first of the year last night. 4-inning save. Good versatility, though, these Baycat arms being used in both the starting rotation and the bullpen. We've seen pretty much all of them be used in multiple roles this year. Even Frank Garces had a relief appearance here on opening night. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Jose Vinicio.
Well, Benitez's job tonight is to eat as many innings as he can, save the Baycats bullpen as much as possible heading into 3 straight games this weekend.
Over the mound to second. McQuinn makes the throw, and it's just in time. 2 quick outs here in the 3rd inning, and back to the top of the order we go for Lucas Alberti.
Center fielder number 35, Lucas Alberti.
We're told that Cesar Rosado is the probable starter for Saturday in Welland, and then we should see Evan Souls make his first start of the season Sunday against the Red Sox. And then it's going to be Carlos Sano on Monday, Canada Day evening game in London.
Christian Lazar gave the Baycats pretty good innings last night as he took over the resumption of the Brantford game that was originally started by Cesar Rosado. And Lazar pitched well. Ryan Lacasse came in, and it was Brad Grieveson to finish it off.
Yeah, Lazar went 4 2/3. Picked up his first win since July of 2022. Missed quite a bit of time with a torn labrum over the last couple of years. So, big moment for him and coming back to the IBL this year.
No question. 1-2 from Benitez, and it's foul to the right.
I also asked him about, preparing for a start versus out of the bullpen, because he'd done it yesterday for the first time in a while, and he says that for him specifically, he's very regimented. Like, he's always asking guys what time it is, so he knows that, he throws till, a specific time right before the first pitch or things like that. He's very routine.
Benitez thought he had strike 3. He took about a step and a half toward the Baycat dugout, did not get the call. He'll try again here on the 2-2. And checking his swing is Alberti to keep this at bat going. It's 3-2 now. Yeah, so many of these players, not just pitchers, but position players too, love their routine. They don't want anything disrupted, and especially when something's working. Everyone's got a different routine, but that consistency is really key for their preparation. As Alberti stays alive with a foul back to the screen.
Well, another interesting thing about what Lazar was saying to me is that, so Matlow told him 6 days in advance that he'd be starting the game. And for him, he said that sets up his entire week of knowing which days he's going to throw a bullpen and how many pitches on that certain day.
And Alberti with a great at-bat as he works a walk-off one. Benitez, after falling behind in the count, keeps the inning alive. And here comes Jordan Castaldo. So Castaldo hitting .320 coming into this game to lead the Leafs. 4 home runs. That's tied with Salazzo for the team lead and a team-leading 19 RBIs. Bat with a man on and 2 out here on the 3rd. Alberti with a big lead at first, does not go. First pitch, it's low.
Talk about leaders. I think it's worth mentioning Seth Strong for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Triple Crown watch this year. I know it's a bit early, but he's having an incredible start to the season.
Only 15 games or so, and this is his first year in the IBL, but definitely catching the attention of fans around the league.
He's leading the IBL with a .412 average, 9 home runs, and 22 RBI.
Well, that is more than just a hot start. He is making his mark.
And that's through 18 games.
Benitez falling behind now. 2 balls and a strike to Castaldo. Dangerous part of the order here. Justin Mara, John Salazzo, Marcus Connect, all behind Castaldo in this Maple Leaf lineup. Certainly no easy outs in this Toronto batting order, 2 through 6.
Carson Burns shaded a little bit up the middle at shortstop.
Alberti draws a throw. Benitez with 1 disengagement in this at bat. Count 2 balls and a strike. Castaldo makes some adjustments. And he'll wait for the 2-1. Runner does not go, and it's a breaking ball for a strike. So Benitez back now 2-2 as the count is even.
Not sure if Castaldo expected a breaking ball there. It looked like he might have been sitting changeup.
He sort of winced when that call was made, maybe more frustrated at himself than anything. Runner goes, and Castaldo keeps the at-bat alive. 2 strikes, you got to protect the plate on anything close, and that's exactly what Castaldo did. 2 outs. We're in the third. Toronto trying to get on the board.
Alberti
looks in.
Alberti does not have a stolen base yet this season.
Does not go, and it's fouled away. I believe it's our first time seeing him here at Vintage Throne Stadium. I don't think he played in the season opener. I'd have to look back.
Didn't play in either game against the Baycats this year, the one at Christie Pitts as well.
So the count's still 2-2 to Jordan Castaldo. And another throw, and not in time. That one's certainly closer than the previous. So 2 disengagements for Benitez. Count 2-2. So if he decides to throw over a third time, he'll have to get him.
Yeah, and you can see Alberti taking a bit stronger of a lead.
Runner goes, and it's up the middle. Picked up by the second baseman, spins and fires. It's a high throw, and reaching up and bringing it down for the out is Noah Hull. What a great play by Brad McQuinn, showing some great athleticism out there in the middle part of the infield. So the Leafs strand a runner, and we are through 2.5. It's still 1-0 Baycats here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
No hits, no errors, and 1 left on.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from Hern and Barrie Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Third inning of play here at Vintage Throne Stadium. The Baycats still hold a 1-0 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. This third inning is brought to you by Render 3D Quick, the #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
We've got a Junior Baycat public address announcer up here in the broadcast booth for inning number 3. It's 10-year-old Austin. As he'll announce the Baycats to bat, Carson Burns, Noel McGarry Doyle, Malik Williams.
Carson Burns tried a little drag bunt right there, just put a bit too much swing on trying to lay that one down.
And Burns takes a called strike, 0-2 now, as Alvarado gets ahead in the count. Nice thing about having the Junior Baycat announcer up here is it gives Rob Daniels a chance to have a slice of pizza, stretch his legs, go for a walk, check his Instagram, comb his hair. You know, any little details that need to be taken care of. We got the Junior Baycat announcer up here to cover for him, right?
Trying to take his job from him.
That's the idea. Ground ball to second. Easy play for Dan Mara, the veteran. Makes the throw in time, 1 out.
Right fielder, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle.
And Austin lets us know that Noel McGarry Doyle is at the plate for the Baycats. See, I know the way Josh Matlow runs this organization, and there is a plan B for everybody. So the Junior Baycat announcers, you line them up, That way we've got someone ready for Rob when he decides, you know, to retire, or hopefully not anytime soon, but got to stockpile those, you know, young announcers and make sure they're ready, waiting in the wings.
You're going to find which voice suits the Vintage Throne Stadium best.
He's probably got backup announcers for you and I as well, so be careful. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Pitch to McGarry Doyle, and it's a ground ball to third, and it's through the wickets and into left field. Salazzo put the glove down, and it just got by him.
I think that one hit the lip of the infield turf. It really caught Salazzo off guard. He was in position to make a play on that, but kind of skipped and rolled right through his legs. Second hit of the game for Noel McGarry Doyle.
Okay, error charged on John Salazzo, we're told. Don't see that too often. A veteran third baseman usually is able to make those routine plays, but as you mentioned, might have made a little bit of a skip. Looked like a routine play. So one on for Malik Williams here in the third inning.
Yeah, you can't really expect that kind of a hop or lack thereof on that play. Tough one for John Salazzo.
Called strike. So you threw me a bit of a curveball just as we came back from break. You asked me a question that now I've been pondering for a while. You asked me, what is my favorite baseball name? Do you mean last name or first name?
Like
or?
full name.
Oh, full name. My favorite baseball full name. That's a good one. I remember the Yankees had a player who's now, I think he's a Hispanic broadcaster. His name was Orestes de Estrade.
Ooh.
Orestes de Estrade. It sounds a lot better than I can say it. But are you familiar with him at all?
I'm not, but I'm definitely going to check him out now.
Yeah.
I ask because I'm not sure, because there's so many good ones.
Cocoa Crisp, one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
Here's the pitch. That's a strike.
And
Sammy Sosa was always a fun one to say.
Ichiro Suzuki.
Yeah. Legend. McGarry Doyle with the lead. Does not go. Pitch is low and outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to Malik Williams. Williams singled in his first plate appearance. Rejoining the Baycats here briefly. Favorite baseball names. That might be an interesting discussion topic on the YouTube chat tonight. Runner goes. Outside. No throw down. It's a walk. Malik Williams is aboard. 2 on for the Baycats. Trying to think if the Blue Jays have had any players with fun names. One of the first Blue Jays that I loved as a kid, well before your time, but Damaso Garcia.
Yeah, he just passed away a couple years ago, unfortunately.
Yeah, very sad. And I mean, there's only been one Damaso that I've been aware of in all of baseball. You can look it up, but I can't think of any other Damaso. Oh, Damaso Marte.
Okay.
There's one. But,
when I think of baseball names, I like to go back to those early 70s Oakland A's teams, like Catfish Hunter.
The nicknames.
Raleigh Fingers.
Yeah.
Vida Blue.
Yeah. Well, Catfish Hunter, I'd have to look it up, but I'm sure that wasn't his real name, his birth name.
No, it
I'm
was
sure
not.
somebody gave him that. Vida Blue, that probably was. 2 on for the Baycats. Here's the pitch. Just missed. Laying off that is Hayden Jaco. Jaco 1 for 1. As Alvarado will step off. Now look in.
Yeah, Jaco himself hitting over 400 to start the year as well.
Good patience as he takes another one. 2 balls and a strike. Wilhenis Alvarado checks the runner at second. Gary Doyle dancing around. And a breaking ball for a strike. Taking all the way was Jaco. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. One nothing Barrie. We're in the third. Here's the pitch. And it's to second. And it gets by Dan Mara. It goes into center field. Rounding third is McGarry Doyle. No throw. So Hayden Jaco drives in a run. It's 2-0 Baycats.
First baseman, number 28.
We mentioned one earlier that got under Salazzo's glove, and that one, don't think there's much excuse for Dan Mara at second base. That will look like a routine play to get out of the inning and cost the Maple Leafs a run.
Gary Mason, our official scorer and point streak operator, letting us know that's a hit. So Jaco aboard with an RBI, so 1 error in the inning for the Leafs. And it keeps the inning alive as Noah Hull to the plate. Still just 1 out, actually. Hull up now with 2 on, 1 out. Alvarado would love another ground ball here. Try to get that double play and keep this a 2-run ball game. Runners lead. Here's his pitch. And it's outside, maybe a bit low as well. Before coming to the IBL, Alvarado went 4-3 with Dunedin in the Blue Jays organization. 2022, pitched 23 games that year. Down the line and foul.
Something the Leafs have been good at in terms of their roster construction, getting a lot of guys who've had previous minor league baseball experience. Alvarado definitely a good example of that. See a lot more in their pitching staff as opposed to position players.
Here comes the pitch, and it's a foul ball to the left side. Two nothing Baycats. They're looking for more. Williams at second, Jaco at first. Noah Hull at the plate. Alvarado deals. That one goes behind Hull and all the way to the backstop. And Hull did not move. If he had have moved back into that, that would have actually probably hit him. A wild pitch advances 2.
Didn't look like that was too far off the back of Noah Hull. He kind of just walked into that left-handed batter's box.
He'd probably rather the RBI opportunity than getting hit by a pitch in this situation. Let's see if he can cash in. 2 in scoring position. Pitch from Alvarado on the way, and he fouls it off the inside of the bat.
Well, I think more importantly, that takes double play out of possibility for something routine on the infield. Jose Vinicio now playing right on the grass at shortstop.
If he loses Hull, Phillips is on deck. Pitch on the way. And it's a high fly ball, shallow, center field. Alberti calls for it. He has it and makes the throw in, and the runners stay put. Williams at third, Jaco at second, and that is where they will stay. So the next best thing to a double play is that, a shallow fly ball. And that's exactly what Alvarado was able to get.
Too shallow for Malik Williams to give that one a shot, tagging up from third. Alberti's seems like he has a pretty good arm. Malik Williams not the best mover on the base paths. If it was Hayden Jaco maybe instead of Williams, could be another run on the board for the Baycats.
First pitch swinging is Phillips. Rips at that one and misses 0-1. Bottom third of the order here for Barrie. Phillips, Plumpton, and McQuinn. Called strike. Bottom 4 in the Baycat order tonight, a combined 0 for 4. McQuinn, the only base runner. He was hit by a pitch.
Something I noticed a lot about Ricky Phillips this year, he seems to take a lot of strikes. It's not necessarily something to get into a habit of.
0-2. On the ground to short. Benicio, off-balance throw, and it's dropped by Jordan Castaldo. Tried to make the swipe tag, picks it up, and out at the plate is Hayden Jaco, but in ahead of him was Malik Williams. So the Baycats will add on another run. As Williams comes in, Jaco thrown out by Castaldo. That'll be scored 3-2. And the Baycats are able to get a couple of runs here in the third inning. So it's 3-0 Baycats as we go to the fourth. Here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Julius, Hern, Ben Davy on our Baycats TV crew, live at Vintage Throne Stadium with the Baycats on top 3-0. 2 runs for Barrie in that third inning. And the Leafs will bat here in the fourth, sending Justin Mara, John Salazzo, and Marcus Connect to the plate. Juan Benitez has thrown 51 pitches. Out here for his fourth inning of work.
Could argue this might be the most difficult part of the outing for Juan Benitez. Second time facing the heart of the Maple Leafs order, especially when you get to John Salazzo in the cleanup spot.
To second, nice play by McQuinn, gets up, throws from his knees, and it's in time for the out. Boy, Brad McQuinn has looked great at second base.
He's really not afraid to lay his body on the line. He's shown that multiple times this year in multiple positions. And he's put on a show so far tonight at second base. Another great play right there.
Yeah, he would probably get the dirtiest uniform award on this Baycats team most nights. John Salazzo now for Toronto. Salazzo making an error in the top half of the inning. He'll look to atone for that here at the plate. With nobody on and one out. Takes a pitch inside for a ball. Leafs looking to end a 4-game losing skid here tonight. They're down by 3 early in this one. And it's to McQuinn again. And he dives and comes up with it. Makes the throw. Not in time. Nothing more that Brad McQuinn could have done there.
Right fielder number 29.
Tell you what, I think Salazzo realized who he hit that ball to and then was booking it right out of the box. He was really hustling down the line. Good speed for a guy his size. Ends up beating it out for an infield single.
McQuinn got that ball out of his glove and unloaded the throw about as fast as possible. Absolutely no margin for error. Salazzo beats it out, so an infield hit. Marcus Connect to the plate. Connect has had some big hits for the Leafs over the Baycats over the years in previous matchups. Batting number 5 tonight. Pitch on the way. On the ground, under the glove of Benitez, and it skips through into center field. Back-to-back singles here, Salazzo and Connect. And now it's Ryan DeSantos.
It's exactly what you want to see if you're Marcus Connect, going right back up the middle with that hard contact on the ground. Maple Leafs now threatening with 2 on.
So the Leafs looking to capitalize on a bit of luck here on the top of the 4th with 2 runners on and 1 out and a called strike to Ryan DeSantos.
Connect was stranded at second in the 2nd inning. Maple Leafs had 2 on there as well.
I'll tell you, a team that has really capitalized on some luck in recent weeks in Major League Baseball, the New York Mets.
They really have.
And a lot of their luck coming in the form of a mascot, Grimace, not even the Mets mascot, the McDonald's mascot that many people your age and younger have never even heard of or seen before. But Grimace threw the first pitch at a Mets game, and they went on a winning streak and won 10 of 12. And now they've got a couple of big wins over the Yankees this week. So Grimace keeps showing up at their games, and they keep winning.
Some are calling it the Grimace era for the New York Mets.
Well, the fans have totally embraced it, and they've just run away with this, and now Grimace is popping up all over the place. But the thing is, you have to really use a discerning eye because it's not always the authentic Grimace that's there. These are like homemade costumes and stuff, right? Fly ball to left. Phillips has it for the out. The runners will stay put. The 2 out in the inning.
This is why I love baseball, because you get those silly stories like that fans just cling on to, and it just becomes a storyline for a team throughout a good chunk of at least this month for the Mets. In June, they won like 7 straight games before they dropped 1, and they're still right back at it. They started that stretch like 7 games under 500, 7 or 8 games, and now they're back at 500.
Well, there is no team in baseball that has more silly stories than the New York Mets every single year. It's something. And it appeared the other night that the Grimace thing might be getting a little bit out of control when he was videoed slamming beers down during a rain delay, and the crowd was going wild. Birds Baycats makes the throw to second in time for the out, and that will do it. So the Leafs unable to score here in the 4th inning. Maybe the Leafs need to have Grimace come out here on the field, or maybe at Christie Pitts for a game for a little good luck. Who knows? Down goes Toronto on the top of the inning. Barrie to bat, and they lead 3-0 here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Bottom of the 4th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. 3-0 Baycats over the Toronto Maple Leafs. This inning brought to you by Clarkson Bins and Junk Removal, the local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal bin rental and junk removal services.
Plumpton, McQuinn, and Ejo do up for the Baycats here in the bottom of the 4th inning, with Barrie on top by a score of 3-0. To face Wilhenny Salvarado. You had a good story for me during the break about the Mets. We were talking about Grimace and the good luck that the McDonald's mascot has brought the team. As the pitch from Alvarado is fouled off. You mentioned something involving one of their Hall of Famers.
Yeah, so they were honoring Darryl Strawberry earlier this year. I forget if they were actually retiring his number or just maybe inducting him into their Mets Hall of Fame. But a really cool thing they did for that game was the home run apple in center field. The original one, they brought it from Shea Stadium. It's been a staple at Mets home games in their entire history. It seems like they made the home run apple into a strawberry for that game.
That has to be the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you could substitute the apple for, but a strawberry is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It's still red, but the way they did it was really cool. They kind of did one big pre-game unveiling of it.
So the third baseman Salazzo bobbles it, and he makes the throw anyways. It's offline. So Plumpton is aboard with a leadoff single. Well, that is really cool, and I went to Citi Field last summer and got to see the outfield apple for the first time, and I really like it. I know some fans, they think, there's not much to it, it's just an apple, right? But there's nothing like it in all of baseball, and it's so New York. It's just perfect.
It's the Big Apple.
It is.
That's the colloquial name for New York City.
Now, what if they replace the apple with Grimace? What do you think would happen?
Now we're talking.
Somebody has thought about it.
Now I wonder if McDonald's really starts to buy into this.
Well, they're going to shut this down if Grimace keeps slamming beers like he was during that rain delay, because that was not a good look.
But could you imagine if they did one full, get all the McDonald's mascots there for one game?
Well, you got Hamburglar, you got Ronald, of course, right? Yeah. Birdie.
Yep.
The fry guy. What was? Oh yeah, the Mayor McCheese Hamburglar, and then there was that French fry guy. I forget his name.
It's probably before my time.
Yeah. We should know this because McDonald's is giving away fries, right? So,
yes.
And now I'm hungry for them. McQuinn down to the count 1-2 with a runner on, nobody out. Baycats, bottom of the fourth inning. I think a pop-up Grimace would be great at Citi Field.
Yes.
Love to see that.
That'd be really funny. Do that behind the plate, distract the opposing pitchers.
Pete Alonso would have that thing coming up game after game after game. Just turn it into a home run derby.
Well, they mentioned the free fries thing. Unfortunately for Baycats fans, Benitez hasn't had a strikeout yet today. Alvarado here has 3.
Yep, the visitor strikeouts don't count, unfortunately, for the French fry promotion. Runner leads. There's the pitch. That's fouled away. It'd be cool if some IBL teams had a outfield pop-up thing after a home run. Like you could have a Baycat.
That would be cool.
Maybe a Maple Leaf at Christie Pitts. Runner does not go, and a check swing. It's a called strike anyway. McQuinn didn't like that call. Down he goes, a strikeout, and a big one for Wilhenes Alvarado.
Okay, so I asked you earlier what your favorite baseball name is. Do you have a favorite baseball mascot?
Well, as a kid, it was B.J. Birdie with the Blue Jays. Grew up a Blue Jays fan. Was absolutely devastated when they retired him. And then replaced B.J. with what? Ace and Diamond. They had 2 mascots.
Yeah,
right?
Ace, and then there's a junior Ace. I forget the name.
Yeah. Wasn't quite the same as B.J.
No.
Swing and a miss. What other teams have really cool mascots? The White Sox have had a bunch of mascots.
Yeah.
So Southpaw is their current mascot, but they had a couple of more famous mascots before that. Remy and Rhubarb were their names. So you can Google that one if you're interested. Of course, the San Diego Chicken's probably the funniest.
Yeah, for sure.
Who comes to mind for you?
We got to go with the Philly Fanatic. Yuppie always comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
The Expos mascot. Now with the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah,
he
was showing up at Habs games. Is that a regular thing or just special appearances?
He's their mascot.
He is their mascot. Wow. And most hockey teams don't really have a good mascot, but least of Carlton the Bear, of course. But no, Yuppie, he's He's something else.
Always remember him getting ejected for kind of terrorizing the Dodgers dugout in Tommy Lasorda back in the 80s.
That's a great YouTube clip. Check that out sometime if you haven't seen it. We've been singing the praises of Grimace tonight, but the Mets mascots to me are pretty underwhelming. Mr. and Mrs. Met, they're just a couple of like baseball heads, right? There's nothing really to them. I don't know.
I think it goes with that New York vibe, though.
Big
like
baseball heads.
It's pretty old school.
Yeah. I guess it's supposed to be a classic sort of character. Fly ball to right, and that is going to land in fair territory. It's a fair ball. Ejo to second, Plumpton to third. 2 in scoring position for the Baycats. That was a perfectly placed ball by Kenise Ejo into right field.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there, going the other way, just a little bit too far away from Marcus Connect there in right field. He actually made a good throw. Made that play at second a little bit closer, but Ejo still in there standing up.
Carson Burns now to bat. He's 0 for 2. Enjoyed great success in the 2-hole here a couple of games ago. Looking to get aboard for the first time here tonight. 3-0 Baycats. Here's the pitch. And he lifts it weakly to second. And the catch will be made by first baseman Jordan Castaldo. Runners stay put.
The right fielder, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle.
So a good outcome there for Wilhenis Alvarado, who is able to get an out and keep the runners where they are. And this is Noel McGarry Doyle. Nothing Baycats. McGarry Doyle tonight has reached base twice, once on an error, doubled and scored. He has scored both times tonight. See, the thing is with the Grimace thing at Citi Field, if it just keeps getting out of control, what does McDonald's do? They step in and say, no more Grimaces. You're not allowed to have Grimace at the ballpark anymore. The fans will it'll just come,
The fans would buy into it more.
They would buy into it more. You would see even more Grimaces at the field. And nothing would be worse than sitting behind Grimace at a ball game because he's going to be blocking your view. Of all the mascots to be stuck sitting behind, Grimace would be the one that you would not want in front of you at a baseball game. He's not fat. He's large. To Castaldo, a long way, and has to make the throw over the pitcher covering, not in time. And a 2-run score for the Baycats. Plumpton came in on the dropped ball. Ejo was right behind him. They should have had Ejo, but Justin Mara dropped the throw. So we'll see if there's 2 errors on that play. There probably should be. At least one for sure.
That's a very interesting play because Noel McGarry Doyle's speed made that entire play possible. He beat out that play at first base and just some heads-up base running by both Plumpton and Ejo. Ejo didn't stop as he was rounding third. He was all in, but with 2 outs, you might as well run it out as best you can, and it paid off for him.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had McGarry Doyle no matter what, I don't think, because Alvarado did not get to the bag nearly in enough time. So the speed of McGarry Doyle forced a little bit of chaos at first base. Plumpton came in, and Ejo right behind him. He would have been out easily. 2 runs for the Baycats to make it a 5-0 lead. And the umpires are having a conference here, and I'm not sure what they could be talking about. Clearly nobody was out on either end of that play.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this one's going to be about.
Maybe a baseline issue.
It looked like they were just discussing the play at first base that kind of made that entire play happen, but they stick with the call on the field.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 29, Malik Williams.
So it's McGarry Doyle at first, Williams at the plate. 2 Baycats in here in the 4th inning. Malik Williams has reached base twice, a walk and a single. 2 out in the inning. Alvarado delivers, and it's inside. Sun has set, and the temperature has really dropped here at the ballpark. Chilliest night of the week so far. Temperature right now 17 Celsius. I'm not sure if you saw what the overnight low is. Any guesses here in Barrie?
Oh man, I don't want to get betting on weather.
8.
Wow.
8. Single-digit overnight low. After all that heat that we had last week. Mid-40 humidex readings, day after day. We had a heat warning for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, it was wild.
And now we're down to single digits in the overnight. I think we were a week late with the tropical shirt night. The weather's impossible to predict, of course, when you're making your Pro Bowl calendar. But
you were saying as well, maybe the tropical night would be better suited for Sunday afternoon that's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, it would have been nicer for an afternoon game, but the way the promotional calendar works, they're kind of themed for Thursday nights, it seems, for the most part. We got the Junior Baycats in the afternoon. Williams draws a walk, so that keeps the inning going, and up for an at-bat here is Hayden Jaco with 2 away.
Williams has reached all 3 times he's been up, 2 walks and a base hit.
Well, we're told Hayden Jaco 1 hit away from 100 career hits in the IBL, so he'll have a chance to hit that here. 2 hits tonight. Thanks to Dylan Quinn for providing that stat for us. Conference on the mound. Rob Butler out to talk to Alvarado and catcher Justin Mara. Well, that will be a mound visit for the Leafs, and Jaco will bat here with 2 on. Noah Hull on deck, hopeful for an at-bat if the Baycats can keep this little rally going here in the 4th inning. .78 pitches for Wilhennis Alvarado, and they'll leave him in here to try to minimize the damage. Low and inside, ball 1. McGarry Doyle at second, Williams at first. 2 out. Alvarado gets the sign from Mara. Checks the runner. And the 1-0. And it's fouled away. Jaco has not scored tonight, but he has singled twice. He's thrown out at home plate in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch from Alvarado. Breaking ball for a strike. 1-1.
I mentioned Jaco hasn't scored tonight, but he scored coming into tonight in all but 1 game this season. He scored.
That's pretty impressive considering how much he's played. The left-hander checks the runner. And he deals. And a foul ball. Jaco now behind 1-2.
Yeah, Jaco's played in 10 games this year, scored in 9 of them, and the only one he didn't score in was against his former team at London, June 9th. Went 0 for 4 that day, didn't reach base at all.
Alvarado deals. It's ground ball to short. They go to second for the force, and that'll do it. But the Baycats are able to score 2 more to add to their 3-0 lead. It's now 5-0 Barrie through 4 innings. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original two men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. Two small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. Top of the fifth inning. The Baycats have a 5-0 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs in their third matchup of this 2024 season. It'll be Dan Mara, Jose Vinicio, and Lucas Alberti due up for the Leafs against Juan Benitez, entering his fifth inning of work. Third start of the season for big righty from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. First pitch to Mara is called strike. 1-0 is outside. Benitez really working quickly, even though he's pitching out of the windup with nobody on base. Something I've also noticed his other appearances this season. Bounces that one in. A nice block by Plumpton. Mara fouled out to first his first time up. That was leading off in the third inning. Takes that one up and in, and 0-1 count has quickly become 3-1. Called strike, moves the count to full. Mara, not a guy who strikes out very often, just 6 on the season so far. Flies that one into center field. Canisijo ranging back. Makes an easy catch for out number 1. I'll bring up Jose Vinicio, who's, at least last season, noticed he was really the leadoff hitter for most of the season for the Maple Leafs. Now kind of moving into that kind of reverse role in their lineup, number 9.
Yeah, puts a lot of speed at the bottom of the order and always a threat when he gets on base. Perennial among the league leaders in stolen bases in the IBL.
He's third this season, led the league last year. Pops that one out of play over the screen. Pardon me, he didn't lead the league last year, but he did have the same amount as Canisijo, who broke the Baycats single season stolen base record with 26. That one just missed. Vinicio with a risky take there, and it pays off. It's 1-2. Benitez working quickly again. That one's up and away.
Well, despite leading 5-0, Juan Benitez's pitch count is almost as high as Wilhenis Alvarado's. He's just about 9 or so behind him. And
that's surprising because he hasn't had any strikeouts in this game so far.
Hasn't had any strikeouts, but hasn't had, that nice rhythm of first pitch, second pitch outs that he often gets when he's at his best.
The 2-2 is lofted into left center field. Ricky Phillips over to his left. Makes a reaching catch for out number 2.
Great to see so many kids at the ballpark here tonight. I was chatting with some youngsters from Mansfield downstairs during the break, and they're here with their teammates, and saw some other kids wearing uniforms that look a lot like the Blue Jays. I wasn't sure where they were from, but we're going to see more and more kids out here on Thursday nights now that summer break is officially here, that's for sure.
Yeah, today the last day of public school in this area.
High schoolers have written their exams, so let the summer begin.
Perfect way to kick it off with being at the ballpark on tropical night.
Hopefully we get some more of that heat that we had a couple weeks ago.
Alberti fouls that one off. It's 0-2.
Usually for the first month or so of the IBL schedule, we always see bigger crowds on the Saturday and Sunday games than we do on Thursday nights, but Thursday night crowds will certainly pick up as we head through the summer weeks.
Looped into center field. It's going to drop in between McQuinn and Ejo, and a 2-out single for Lucas Alberti.
Well, second time he's reached base tonight. And a dangerous hitter coming up here for the Maple Leafs with a runner on and 2 out.
Well, recall back in the third inning, he was really putting the pressure on Juan Benitez at first base with his leadoffs. He actually got 2 disengagements out of Benitez. Hasn't had a stolen base yet this year, but definitely can be a threat on those base paths as Jordan Castaldo steps in for the third time this evening. 0-2. First pitch is inside.
Well, I'm sorry to do this, Julius, but I have to cave and put my jacket on here. I know it's tropical shirt night and all, but it is getting chilly.
It is getting to that point, and that's considering there's no breeze at all either. Breaking ball called second ball. 14 degrees this evening.
Down to 14, wow. Yeah, it was 17 last I checked. Doesn't surprise me.
No cloud cover at all either. 2-0 pitch is another one outside. Castaldo surely will be taking all the way here. Benitez still working quickly like I mentioned. But now out of the stretch with the runner on. And Castaldo takes that one for strike one.
Benitez doesn't slow the game down like Alvarado did when he had base runners on. He likes to keep that rhythm going, but the problem for Juan has been falling behind in counts and going deep in counts tonight.
Cut and a miss from Castaldo, and the count is full.
Well, this would be a big time for that first strikeout of the night that we've been talking about. Everything so far has been in the air or on the ground. Castaldo, not an easy strikeout, though. One of the best 2-strike hitters in this league. And notorious for fouling away as many as he needs to get one he likes.
Takes that one at his feet for ball 4. Alberti was off on the pitch, and didn't matter for Benitez.
Yeah, Juan not even close with that pitch, so he's up to 85 now. He has passed his counterpart tonight, Wilhenis Alvarado, on the pitch count tally.
So that brings up Justin Mara. Chance here for Maple Leafs' first run of the game. He's got 12 RBI on the season. He foul tips that one off the mask of Tyler Plumpton. No holds on either of the runners. Benitez still looks back at second. Pitches up and away again for Mara.
Mara, a veteran like his brother, Justin the catcher. Dan Mara in the lineup as well at second base. And Adam Mara, a veteran IBL pitcher.
Popped up, and Tyler Plumpton on the move, making chase. And at the screen, makes the catch. Looked like that one was going to sail over the screen, but it backspin kept that one in play. Tyler Plumpton puts the inning away for Juan Benitez. We head to the bottom half of the fifth. 5-0 Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from Hern and Barrie Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Ben Davy and Julius Hern with you at Vintage Throne Stadium as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's brought to you by Phaetrum, aluminum and siding, quality above all else.
Still 5-0 Baycats as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning, and it'll be Noah Hull to lead it off for Barrie against Wilhennis Alvarado. After that pitch, at 84 on his outing so far. Hull 0 for 2 so far in this ball game, a strikeout and a flyout. Has the benefit of a 2-0 count already.
Number 23, Julian Tomachko with his glove walking down to the Toronto bullpen. That's one thing I like about these new Toronto uniforms. Those numbers are easy to see.
They also got the names on the uniforms too. That's something new for them this year.
That is a new look for them. Yeah, those names are pretty prominent as well, but the numbers really help us when we're trying to figure out who's warming up.
2-1 is inside, and Noah Hull's one pitch away from a free pass. Seen a couple pitchers for the Baycats warming up here and there, but nothing too serious. Brendan Hillier was throwing earlier, but he's since sat down.
When do you think the Citronella torches come out in the Baycat bullpen tonight?
Bounding ball over to second base. Throw on to first from Dan Mara gets Noah Hull, 1 down.
There's an over-under for us, the Citronella torches in the bullpen.
I think last night it was...
They had them out earlier last night.
I think it was the start of the 7th last night.
Yeah.
So I might think probably right around when we start to see dark skies, as that'll be it for Wilhennis Alvarado. Pitching change here for Toronto Maple Leafs, and it looks like it will be Julian Tomachko exiting the Maple Leafs bullpen. So 4 1/3 innings for Alvarado is a bit of a slow walkout here from Tomachko. As he enters the ball game, we'll step aside as Maple Leafs change their pitchers. You're watching Baycats TV. So the new pitcher in the ball game for the Toronto Maple Leafs is right-handed reliever Julian Tomachko, and he'll face Ricky Phillips to start his outing.
Tomachko, 25 years old, an alumni of McMaster University down in Hamilton. Has some experience in the Western Canadian Baseball League and the Frontier League as well before joining the Maple Leafs.
As part of their bullpen last year. Had a couple spot starts in 2023, but mostly used as a reliever, short outings.
Pitched for Edmonton and Okotoks in the WCBL.
1-0 to Ricky Phillips. Lined into left field, a base hit for Phillips. His first of the game, and right off the bat, attacking Tomachko early.
Catcher number 44, Tyler Plumpton.
So the final line on Will Hennis Alvarado, 4 1/3, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. One of those runs coming in thanks to an error. First pitch to Tyler Plumpton's a called strike. Breaking ball.
Maple Leafs had a mound visit earlier in this ball game, and I mistakenly referred to Sam Green as manager Rob Butler. It was not Rob that came out at that point. Butler came out for the pitching change that we just saw, but you pointed out to me that Sam Green is not only a pitcher, but also the pitching coach.
Yeah, and adding to that, he's also full-time. He's a pitching analyst for the Toronto Blue Jays organization. So definitely a ton of experience there that he can spread towards the Maple Leafs organization. Throw over to Phillips, and he dives back in safely.
Well, Phillips is leading the Baycats in stolen bases and stolen base attempts by a wide margin. Canisijo, the other one on this team that loves to steal, but Phillips has 12 steals. That's 2 more than Canisijo, who set that single season record last year.
It doesn't go there. Breaking ball. Nice pick there from Justin Mara. 2-1 the count. Now Phillips with 13 steals on the season, just one back. 12 on the season, just one back of Mateo Porcelano of Welland for the league lead in steals.
17 attempts. He's been caught 5 times.
Fly ball into center field. Ranging back is Alberti. He makes the catch. Tagging from first to second is Phillips. Can he make it? Feet first slide. And he's out. Slams his helmet down. He's arguing with the umpire. That's Francesco DiBiase at second base. Phillips clearly not happy with that call. Still making some words with the umpire. Andrew White now coming over to separate them. Phillips clearly upset, but we'll head to the top of the 6th inning. Still 5-0 Baycats on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
for over 35.
Top 6 at Vintage Throne Stadium, still 5-0 Barrie over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Will send up John Salazzo, Marcus Connect, and Ryan Dos Santos, middle of the order.
Third baseman number 17, Jonathan Salazzo.
Against Juan Benitez, back out for inning number 6.
Kendra Doyle, our in-game host, giving away free car washes between innings there. If you need a car wash, come out to Vintage Throne Stadium. You just might win one at a ball game. That's
Line drive right back up the middle into center field. First pitch base hit for John Salazzo to get the 6th inning started.
We've mentioned this a few times, but Kendra has also been the in-game host for the Mississauga Steelheads for the last season or two, and that franchise is now officially relocated to Brampton, and Kendra is making the move with the team. So just a couple kilometers up Kennedy Road in Peel region, the Steelheads have a new home. It'll be fun to have hockey back in Brampton. I remember the Brampton Battalion were a arch rival of the Barrie Colts for many years.
First ever Colts game I went to was against the Brampton Battalion.
No surprise. They were playoff rivals. It just always seemed like Barrie would end up facing Brampton at some point, either in the first round or the second round. And the Colts really dominated that rivalry while I was announcing for them for many years. But then towards the end, the Battalion started to win some of those playoff series. And now they're up in North Bay and having some pretty good success up there. So that will be interesting when the North Bay Battalion return to Brampton, because that'll be their first visit back.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll play the Steelheads at some point.
2-0 pitch. It's inside to Marcus Connect.
Might be interesting to see if some of the old school Battalion fans from years ago in North Bay or in Brampton will still cheer for them when they come.
Yeah, it's very interesting when you see, old franchises come back to a city with a new team in it.
It's happened in Major League Baseball quite a bit decades ago. Not a lot in recent history, but.
So walk to Marcus Connect, puts 2 on for the Leafs, and some early trouble here in the 6th for Juan Benitez. He's going to get a visit from Andrew White.
Well, Juan may be getting awfully close to his limit here as far as pitches go. 92 at this juncture in the 6th. They like to get minimum 5 out of Benitez, but sometimes he can go 6 or 7. Looks like we got a left-hander warming up in the Barrie bullpen.
Yeah, it's Braden Pakala up on the Barrie pen.
Number 8, Ryan DeSantos.
Well, Pakala had a shaky relief appearance in Brantford on Sunday afternoon, so he'll be anxious to put that behind him.
Ground ball, a short scoop by Burns, over to McQuinn at second, over to first. Not in time for the double play, but they do get the runner out at second for the first out of the inning. So runners on the corners now for the Leafs.
Designated hitter number 44, Cole.
So Connect retired 6-4, Salazzo to third, DeSantos aboard on the fielder's choice, and Benitez got what he wanted, the ground ball, but DeSantos with too much speed to execute the double play on that ground ball.
First pitch is low to Cole Murchison.
This is a really key point in the game for the Maple Leafs. You've got the starter still out there with his pitch count approaching 95. Runners on.
First time the Leafs have had a runner at third base in this ball game.
Still just one.
2-2 to Kenise Ejo. Here's the pitch. Flown into shallow center field. Alberti can't see it. It's going to drop in front of him. Ejo didn't stop running, and he's going to get into second, and he's going to go for third. Alberti was not quick to get back that ball in, and he's thrown out at third. Fans here are not happy. Another outfield assist there for Lucas Alberti, and Kenise Ejo clearly not happy either. There's out number 2.
Yeah, the Baycats have really been testing the arms of those Maple Leaf outfielders tonight. Second play that they have contested this evening, there was one involving Ricky Phillips at second base where he thought he was safe earlier. Our sixth inning brought to you by Moving.ca. Two small men with big hearts moving, making stress-free for over 35 years.
So here's Carson Burns. First pitch from Tomachko is a called strike. We welcome back viewers from earlier in our broadcast. Had a little bit of a power failure up in our production booth, so we welcome you back. Thanks for sticking around.
The power went out very briefly up here in the broadcast booth, but it stayed on in the ballpark, so that's good news with the lighting and everything. The scoreboard went out, all of our gear went out, but we're back and running now. So
it's funny to see the fans cheer for when the scoreboard came back on.
Well, when it says 5-0, of course.
Burns cuts and misses and strikes out, and the bottom of the sixth inning with the Baycats still lead at 5-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ben Davy's going to lead you through the rest of this one. On the other side of the inning, we'll see you in the 7th on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original two men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. Two small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
We go to the 7th here at Vintage Throne Stadium as the Leafs and the Baycats, with Barrie on top by a score of 5-0, and Baycats will bring in their second pitcher of the night. It'll be left-hander Braden Pakala.
Yeah, Braden Pakala looking to rebound from a tough outing on Sunday. He had a clean inning to start that outing in Brantford and kind of got away from 3 earned runs on 5 hits to give up a lead the Baycats had to close it out. Ended up losing the game in the 10th. Third outing a season for the lefty.
And a good low-pressure situation here with a 5-run lead to work with. Of course, these are important outs and an important inning here, but maybe a little less pressure than that Brantford game. Well, the Baycats did have an 8-5 lead in that game as well. That was just his second IBL appearance, so he's looking to rebound from that here tonight. Pitch is fouled off. 5-0 Barrie. A run in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Pakala, the left-hander, deals. And another one fouled over the screen.
Well, Vinicio is seeing these pitches no problem. He's a switch hitter and no problem facing left-handed pitching at all. He's batting left-handed when he was facing Benitez earlier in this game. Strong outing from Benitez, 6 innings.
Fly ball to left center field as Canisijo ranging to his right to take it for the out, 1 away. Well, just to get you caught up on some of what you might have missed during the power outage that we had in the interruption in our broadcast stream, Cole Murchison struck out, and then Dan Mara with a line drive to short to end the top half of the 6th, and then the Baycats came up. Brad McQuinn popped up. I believe we came back on with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Just in time to see The 8-5 play with Ejo at third.
Denise Ejo thrown out. This is Lucas Alberti. 1 for 2 tonight. Maple Leafs leadoff hitter. Takes the pitch outside. 1-1. Baycats looking for their 9th straight win over the Maple Leafs. That dates all the way back to 2022. And I haven't followed this team every season since its inception, but I would have to think that that would come awfully close to a franchise record for a winning streak over one opponent.
Considering how close these teams have been over the years.
Yeah, it was never lopsided in any of the years that I was covering the team from 2005 to 2011. Always seemed like the season series was split or one team might have a bit of an edge. They met in the playoffs quite a bit, but it has been all Barrie for the last 2 seasons. 1-2, and it's just upstairs. Count even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maple Leafs were the only team that the Baycats were undefeated against last year. Fastball hit on the ground. Charging is Pakala. Bare hands throws. And it is in time for the out. That was a close play at first. Bounced right into the glove of Noah Hull. He was able to backhand that and hang on to it and keep his foot on the bag.
Pakala making those PFPs pay off. That was just a slow number right in front of the plate. He actually kind of had a long way to go falling off the mound the other way. But he really made a strong throw. Smart of him not to pick it up with his glove, just going straight with the bare hand. That might have been the difference in that play.
That was the only chance he had, was barehanding that ball, as you mentioned. And a good job by Hull to take that short hop into the glove and keep the foot on the bag. So 2 quick outs here, and here's Jordan Castaldo.
The final line on Juan Benitez, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 3 walks, no strikeouts, no earned runs. Solid outing, probably as much as you can ask for if you're Josh Matlow.
1 ball and 1 strike to Castaldo.
Even better if you can get multiple innings from Braden Pakala here heading into the weekend.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Pakala deals. Signed, and it's 2-1 now. That game on Sunday in Brantford was tied 8-8 going into the 10th. And it took just 1 pitch for David Alvarez to drive home Jared Lupton with the winning run. And a 9-8 walk-off win for the Red Sox. Count now 3-1. There's only one way to beat Jordan Castaldo, and that's to keep those bases empty in front of him. Baycats have been able to do that effectively tonight. Lifts this one to center field. Straight away, Ejo has to backpedal, and he's there for the out. Maple Leafs go 3 up, 3 down for the 3rd time tonight. And it's stretch time here at Vintage Throne Stadium with Barrie comfortably on top, 5-0. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Coming back from the 7th inning stretch here at Vintage Throne Stadium, still 5-0 for the Barrie Baycats, and it's brought to you by Psycho Solutions. Full automotive service from headlight to tailpipe.
As Noel McGarry-Doyle comes to the plate, we have to let our viewers know about something rather eventful that just happened during the 7th inning stretch. As the fans enjoyed Heave Away following the rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but it almost didn't happen. Our music guy, Dan, started to play something from Pitbull after the 7th inning stretch, and boy, the fans down behind home plate let him know.
They were not happy.
And Dan got Heave Away on in a hurry, and we were able to salvage at least half of the song. I think they still felt a little bit ripped off, though. You only have so much time in that 7th inning stretch, but he got it on the ground foul.
You know, and Heave Away's become, a tradition here. At least at the start of last season, it was the 7th inning stretch song after Take Me Out to the Ball Game. It's carried over into this season. I think the fans are used to it. They love it.
Well, Dan was the one who introduced it,
yeah.
And it was such a hit right from the first time. That I understand there's some history with junior hockey, and that song gets played at hockey games quite a bit, but I'd never even heard it before. But the fans instantly latched onto it, and it became our unofficial 7th inning stretch after Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And tonight was the first night that we almost missed it.
Yeah, the fans behind the plate were in an uproar.
Oh, they let him have it. They turned around. They were screaming at the broadcast booth. So if I was Dan, I'd put it on in the middle of the 8th as well, just to make up for it. We don't want anyone feeling shortchanged. That's a great moment, though. The fans get into it. They're dancing a jig behind home plate there. A few in particular that we always enjoy watching. We're gonna have to mic them up some night.
That would be awesome.
2-2. Tomachko comes set. Here's the delivery. Ball 4. Noel McGarry-Doyle is aboard. 1 on for the Baycats. Nobody out. Looking to add to a 5-0 lead here as Malik Williams comes to the plate.
Well, sure, it's been a great game for Noel McGarry-Doyle. It's the 4th time he's reached tonight, already 3 for 3 with a double, and right there another walk. He scored twice tonight, so it seems like he's always the one to get the rally started for the Baycats, at least this evening.
Tomachko, Toronto's second pitcher, came on in relief of Wilhenis Alvarado, who's on the hook for the loss here this evening. Fastball misses outside. Williams has reached base all 3 times. 2 walks and a single. Scored a run in the 3rd. Tomachko from the belt, kicks, delivers, and it's high and away. Tomachko puts a lot into that fastball. You can hear him grunt, as a lot of pitchers do. Checks the runner. 2-0 pitch. Nope. Checks to the runner, and back head first is McGarry-Doyle. One on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch is high, and now a 3-0 count to Malik Williams.
McGarry-Doyle had a little bit of a dancing lead over at first, even after that pickoff attempt, and start to wonder if that might have been a pitch out.
A 4-pitch walk to Malik Williams, and that's just yet another thing that's so impressive about him. As great a hitter as he is, he knows when his job is just simply to get on base. He has drawn 3 walks here tonight. Reached base safely all 4 times. This lineup, which is already loaded offensively, just even that much more better when he's here in Barrie.
Evan Souls is going to pinch run for him, so that's going to be it for Malik Williams in this ball game. We even saw last year in just the 9 games that Williams in the regular season was with the Baycats, hit almost 500 with 15 RBI in those 9 games.
It is impressive. He makes an immediate impact anytime he rejoins this team. And if it was up to Josh Matlow, he'd have him in the lineup here in Barrie every single game. No question there. But
last season, had an RBI in all but 1 of those 9 games in the regular season, and then made that much more of a difference in the playoffs when he came back from the Frontier League.
This is Hayden Jaco, shows bunt, pulls it back, 1-0. Well, we have seen, many cases where players leave the Baycats, then rejoin the team, and it takes them a while to find their groove, just to sort of get that momentum, get their legs under them again, whatever the case may be. That has not been the case with Malik Williams at all. He shows up, he is ready to play, and has no trouble fitting right into this lineup when he gets here.
Well, I saw him on the field before the game today, went over and said, hey, welcome back, and he just seemed just comfortable already, it being his first game back. Yes, he's already been here this season and last year, but come back from a pro opportunity like he had with Ottawa in the Frontier League, and it feels like he's right back at home.
Hayden Jaco has shown bunt twice in this at bat. Not sure if he'll actually attempt one here with a 5-run lead, but this is a situation with 2 on and nobody out that would normally call for that. He does show bunt again, pulls it back, and the count is 3-1.
And Jordan Castaldo was playing really shallow in at first base. John Salazzo on the other side at third, just playing on the lip of the grass. So Evan Souls at first can get a pretty good secondary lead, taking advantage of where Castaldo's playing.
A perfect bunt by Jaco. Picked up by the third baseman. The throw bounces up. It's in time for the out. John Salazzo with a bouncer across the diamond to Jordan Castaldo. But Jaco does his job advancing the runners. I mentioned a 5-run lead, pretty comfortable when you get to the 7th inning, but I mean, you could argue a 5-run lead really isn't a big lead between these two teams, given the history between them. Whether at this ballpark or especially at Christie Pitts, you've seen some big late innings between both of these teams.
Well, if you remember last year, opening night, first game of the season, the Baycats came back from down 5 to come back and win that one in the bottom of the 9th.
So the Cats looking for even some more insurance here, up 5-0, swing and a miss by Noah Hull.
That's a strong cut there from Noah Hull, and looks like the entire infield for the Maple Leafs playing shallow again. Still only 1 out, so they might try and cut down that run at home if they can on a ground ball.
Great to see former Baycats president Dave Mills here at the ballpark tonight, and he was around a few innings ago shaking hands and saying hello. And Dave now retired, but a big part of this franchise and this organization right from its inception, and still comes to the ballpark a few times a year. Always dresses well too. He had a nice sports jacket on tonight.
Did.
Looking good, looking healthy, and lots of energy. Now, so many people have told me over the years that Dave was a big reason why they got involved with this team, either as a supporter, a sponsor, a volunteer, and still supports the team to this day, but stepped down as team president a few years back. Josh Matlow taking over in a new era with this club coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. But
it's those kind of people who have an encouraging, make an encouraging, friendly environment, make all the difference, make people want to come and support and join.
Full count here to Noah Hull. The pitch, and that one sails to the backstop. And the runners will advance. It's a 6-0 Baycat lead. So a wild pitch, bringing in Noel McGarry Doyle. Evan Souls, excuse me, now at third. Hull is aboard. Phillips will come to the plate for the 4th time tonight.
Yeah, the Leafs are going to get a mound visit from Rob Butler, and that's going to be it for Tomachko.
So a pitching change as Tomachko steps aside, and so will we. We'll take a short break and be back with the Baycats on top. 6-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. New pitcher for the Maple Leafs, it is Adam Mara. He will be the third Toronto pitcher of the night for Rob Butler.
And this is going to be his 7th appearance in the season. He's pitched just 6 1/3 innings on the year so far, rocking a 5.68 ERA and an 0-1 record. Hasn't been the best season for him so far in relief, a 3.08 batting average against.
2 on for the Baycats here with 1 out, bottom of the 7th, first pitch, and it's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Mara was on the mound on opening night here in 2023 when Ryan Rio drove in the game-winning run on a walk-off victory against Toronto. Baycats have had opening night wins against Toronto back-to-back years now.
It's pretty cool to see the Mara brothers as the battery for the Leafs, I will say.
Adam, the third of 3 Maras on this team and in this game. Adam pitching, Justin catching, Dan at second. Right back to the mound. Mara picks it up, throws, in time for the out. More importantly, the base runners stay put. Souls decided not to risk it. He's the pinch runner for Malik Williams at third base. So Phillips is retired 1-3. Souls stays at third. Hull is at second. And Plumpton will bat with 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Plumpton today 1 for 3, the veteran catcher. He's seen Adam Mara quite a bit in his career. Takes a pitch, and he's ahead 1-0. Mara with the wind and the delivery. Called strike, 1-1. Six runs for the Baycats on 9 hits. Toronto with 6 hits, but still looking for their first run of the game. Side armor. Ground ball picked up by the third baseman, Salazzo. Makes a off-balance throw. It's in time for the out to get Tyler Plumpton. So the Baycats add to their 5-0 lead. It's now 6-0 Barrie as we head to the top of the 8th here on Baycats TV.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Ben Davy, Julius Hern, and our Baycats TV crew at Vintage Throne Stadium. A very chilly ballpark suddenly here tonight. On tropical nights and a lot of coats and blankets out around the ballpark now. And the Baycats on top by a score of 6-0 over the Maple Leafs. Leading off for Toronto is Justin Mara. So Mara, Salazzo, and Connect to face Baycat left-handed reliever Braden Pakala. Checking the out-of-town scoreboard, one other game in the IBL tonight, and it's the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers on top of the Kitchener Panthers by a score of 9-6. It's in the bottom of the 8th. It was 9-3 at one point. Panthers trying to battle back from behind. As that one hits Mara right in the back. He'll toss the bat away and take first base. Panthers really need to avoid falling too far behind in the standings. We mentioned one team in the IBL will miss the playoffs this year, and right now that team is Kitchener.
Yeah, considering the Panthers finished second in the IBL last year, a bit of an unexpectedly poor start for them.
Bill Matish, manager of the year. They had an outstanding season. Couldn't get it done in the playoffs, and we know that lineup is loaded. The question is, can the pitching keep up with the offense? And the return of Pedro de los Santos, definitely a huge thing for them. But
it seems like Yadier Martinez has been their key starter, but you just can't put him out there every day.
IBL strikeout leader. The bullpen has had problems this year, so Kitchener needs to get their act together in a hurry and try to get out of that basement, or they're going to start falling behind some of those other teams in the bottom half of the standings. Popped up, foul territory, but playable. And the catch is made just inside the baseline by Noah Hull.
Right fielder number 29.
It's been quite a few fly ball outs. Mentioned last night. It was a big theme of how last night's game progressed. There weren't a whole lot of strikeouts. It was a very fast game against the Red Sox last night.
Yeah, a lot of balls hit in the air.
Each team had 12 flyout or pop outs.
Wow. Josh Matlow out for a visit. That's going to be it for Braden Pakala. So Marcus Connect comes to the plate, having thrown just 19 pitches, but did his job. Despite a hit batter, Justin Mara is aboard. Connect will come to the plate, and the Baycats will go to the bullpen. We'll tell you about that when we return. Barrie on top 6-0. You're watching Rogers TV and Baycats TV. So the Baycats with a pitching change as they go from Braden to Brandon. This is Hillier on the mound for the Baycats to face Marcus Connect with one on and one out here in the 8th inning.
Appearance number 6 on the season for Brandon Hillier, just 4 1/3 coming into this one. 3 earned runs in those 4 1/3, giving him a 6.23 ERA on the year.
Mentioned Adam Mara on the mound with the Baycats had a big walk-off win. As we have a strange-sounding buzzer and a time out on the field while we try to figure out what the cause of that was.
Yeah, that's from the warm-up clock that's on the new scoreboard.
Okay, so we're still getting the bugs fixed on that, but I didn't even notice that the warm-up clock was going.
Yeah, it was going the last few innings. I saw it.
Okay. Forgot what I was saying. Oh, yes, mentioned Adam Mara on the mound when the Baycats had a walk-off win here in their season opener. Brandon Hillier was on the mound when the Leafs had a dramatic come-from-behind win in 2022 to eliminate Barrie from the playoffs. This one hit high and deep to left field. Foul ball, according to home plate umpire Preston Hughes. He was on the line watching that all the way. That ball had so much vertical height. Vertical height as opposed to horizontal height. And it's hard to tell once that ball reaches a certain elevation. You got to be right on that to see whether it's cleared the foul pole in fair or foul territory.
Yeah, Ryan Jackson was really straddling that third base line and get a good view of that. And no wind at all in the ballpark today. That was just kept slicing because of the spin on that ball.
Yeah, these aren't major league foul poles. They're only, 20 feet maybe? 15?
Yeah, maybe.
Hard to tell. So a moonshot like that, you got to be standing right on that line, and that's a judgment call by the home plate umpire. Not a position I'd want to be in. Nobody seemed to argue, though. It's a 1-2 count. A Marcus Connect. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's a strikeout for IMP North. I believe that's our first Maple Leaf strikeout of the ball game.
Yeah, first strikeout for Baycats pitching this evening.
Actually, oh yeah, it is the first. My mistake. Thought we might have had one earlier, but
no, there was one earlier. Cole Murchison struck out in the sixth.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yep, you're right. So second strikeout of the night for the Baycat pitchers.
Just seems so weird. Benitez went 6 innings and didn't have one on his own.
In previous seasons, Benitez seemed to have higher strikeout totals.
He's got just 13 on the year.
He's become more of a pitch-to-contact pitcher in the last year or two.
Well, I think that's also with him, like, he seemed, at least this year, I've noticed that he's working much faster than he was last year. Really taking his time last year, settling in. This year he's speeding up his delivery.
1-1 the count to Ryan Dos Santos. Plumped it off with the mask. Runner stays put. That's Justin Mara. He led off the eighth inning here by getting hit by a pitch by Braden Pakala, the only base runner he allowed in his relief appearance here tonight. So definitely a successful relief outing for Pakala. Broken bat fly ball, shallow left field, and a nice sliding grab by the left fielder, Ricky Phillips. Phillips wearing a scarf in the outfield. That gives you an idea how cold it is out there. And a nice grab to retire Dos Santos. So the Leafs strand a runner in the 8th inning. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Baycats on top 6-0. Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Bottom of the 8th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uw-simcoemuskoka.ca.
And Toronto's fourth pitcher of the night will be Chris Nagorski.
Yeah, former Baycat from 2013 to 2018, so a multiple-time IBL champion with Barrie during his tenure here.
Baycats won 6 championships in a row from 2014 to 2019, and Nagorski was here for 5 of them. Here's a roller to short. Vinicio up with it. Kind of double clutched on the throw. Still got it in time for the outs. Boy, that little double clutch by Vinicio nearly cost him.
And Brad McQuinn looked like he made that safe signal as he crossed over first base. Not happy with that call, and double clutch really made that play, put that play in jeopardy for the Maple Leafs. But Brad McQuinn was telling me the other day he's still recovering from a hip flexor injury he suffered earlier this year on some slides that he actually made some great defensive plays on, but so he's still only running at about 85% of his full speed.
You would not know it, the way he has been running out balls and diving, making diving plays, both in the infield as he is tonight and outfield plays as well.
Just like I mentioned earlier, he's not scared to put his body on the line for this team.
0-1 the count to leadoff man Kenise Ijo. It's a fly ball to the right side, and that ball is fair. Ijo with a double, thinking about 3. Ball picked up and fired in by Marcus Connect. Ijo with a perfectly placed ball.
Shortstop number 3, Carson.
Yes, 3 extra base hits now on the night for Kenise Ijo. Great game for him. 3 for 5 on the night.
Got thrown out trying to stretch a double into a triple in the 6th inning, but that one came much easier for him. No chance at all for right fielder Marcus Connect.
Well, that one very much looked like the double he had in the 4th inning, where he just flared it the opposite way down that right field line, and it just dropped next to Marcus Connect.
Yeah, same spot, just a perfectly placed hit. And now Carson Burns to the plate. Burns is the only Baycat who has not reached base safely tonight. He'd love to join the rest of his teammates here and get on as this one bounces up to the plate and goes to the backstop. Kenise Ijo in to score. Make it 7-0 Baycats.
Second time this evening a Baycat has scored on a wild pitch. That first one earlier from Adam Mara. Pardon me, Julian Tomachko. That was in the previous inning before Mara came in.
Alvarado, Tomachka, Mara, and now Nagorski for the Maple Leafs. Fouled off to the left. Nagorski, 34 years old, Mississauga native. This is his 3rd IBL club. We mentioned his stint with the Baycats from 2013 to 2018, so he got in on 5 of those 6 Baycat championships through that stretch. Came into the IBL with the Guelph Royals in 2010.
Yeah, really struggling so far this year. 10 earned runs through 9 appearances, just 10 1/3 innings. But he does sport a 1-1 record on the year so far.
It's been used exclusively as a reliever. His last start was in 2013 with the Baycats, so 11 years ago. He has been a bullpen guy since then. Fouled over the trees, and the count is full. Here's the pitch from Nagorski, and it's fouled off to the exact same spot. That ball landed behind the trees, exactly where the previous foul ball went.
Well, Sam Green is throwing in the Leafs bullpen as we speak, so could be another option in this 8th inning.
Nagorski throws that in the dirt for ball 4. So another Baycat base runner. Barrie just continuing to pour it on here in this ball game.
Mike Gary Doyle.
nobody warming in the Baycats pen, so this definitely looks like it's going to be Brandon Hillier's game to finish.
So here comes Noel McGarry Doyle. Waggles the bat and waits for the first offering from Nagorski. Hit weakly to the mound. Handled by Nagorski, makes the throw in time for the sure out at first, but up 90 feet is Carson Burns.
Now pitch hitting for the Baycats, number 35, James.
Well, for Noel McGarry Doyle, that's the first time he hasn't reached base safely this evening, but even with that, still made that out productive, moving Burns over to second for James Anderson, who comes in as the pinch hitter.
Yeah, we mentioned Burns had been the only Baycat to not reach base safely, and he was able to get on with a walk here in the 8th inning. So every Baycat, I guess with the exception of Evan Souls, who came on as a pinch runner, has reached base tonight. Souls got on base when he was as a pinch runner. This is James Anderson for the first time tonight. Anderson came on as a pinch hitter in last night's game against the Brantford Red Sox. Feels weird saying last night, but it was 24 hours ago that we were here for that game.
Yeah, and he has just one hit on the year to boast about. Hasn't had the best year offensively, but also hasn't had a ton of opportunity with a lot of time behind the plate being taken by Hayden Jaco and Tyler Plumpton, who've both been great offensively.
Back through the mound, and it gets past the second baseman, Dan Mara, into right field. That'll cash in another, as Carson Burns will come home with the 8th run for the Baycats. Well, this has been about as deep an offensive attack as you could expect from the Baycats, with everybody contributing here tonight. Not the least of which this guy, Hayden Jaco, who has a pair of singles. He'll bat with 2 out here in the 8th inning. Baycats up 8-0 at Vintage Throne Stadium.
The Maple Leafs bullpen has not been strong lately. In the last 4 games, they've lost all of them. Coming in tonight, 29 earned runs just by their bullpen. Another 3 to add on to that one tonight.
Yeah, that statistic just keeps going from bad to worse, it seems, for the Maple Leafs. The lack of depth in the bullpen really being exposed here. Weekly hit to third, charging. Salazzo makes a running throw. It's high and offline. And that will continue the inning, as that one sails all the way over to the fence. Anderson to third, Jaco to second. Noah Hull will be the 7th Baycat to bat, and a mound visit.
Yeah, Sam Green's still throwing in that Maple Leafs bullpen, and it looks like now might be the time for him to step into this ball game.
Well, they'll talk it over and decide what to do here. Nagorski came in with a clean inning. Started well with a ground out by Brad McQuinn, but they're going to leave Nagorski in here and hope that he can finish the job here in this bottom of the 8th inning. This Baycat lineup has been red hot tonight on tropical night, so appropriately so, the Baycats bats bringing the heat for us on an otherwise chilly night. It dropped to, I think, 12 degrees now, so we've lost about 10 degrees from our game time temperature.
Sam Green has stopped throwing now in the Leafs pen, jacket on. So unless Nagorski really blows up even more here.
So it's a chilly night here on tropical night. Maybe we'll get some heat next week for Christmas in July.
Wouldn't that be something?
Just to keep things interesting. You mentioned you're doing public address that night.
Yes.
I know you're looking forward to that.
I'm excited for that.
That is going to be fun. PA is a lot of fun, and Rob Daniels is so lucky he gets to do the job here. Our legendary voice at Vintage Throne Stadium. Nobody can top the job he does night in and night out, but when he is away, boy, is it ever fun filling in. And I'll be away too, so that moves you over as, I guess you're number 3 on the pecking order for PA.
I guess so.
Privileges. This one hit to second and through into right field, and that will score 2 more. Anderson scores, Jaco behind him, and it's a double-digit run total for the Baycats tonight. 10-0 Barrie.
Number 2, Ricky Phillips.
Just a great hit there from Noah Hall, his first of the game, and he's been kind of a revelation offensively. Defensively, he really struggled to start his IBL career, but he's maintained some strong hitting with some great contact earlier on this season.
Called strike to Noah Hull. Hull reached base on a walk in the 7th. He's otherwise 0 for 3.
Ricky Phillips still wearing that scarf around his chin.
I don't blame him.
Plate.
Ball gets away, runner advances. I hope you're not wearing a scarf on July 4th. But
well, it's Christmas in July night, so
you won't look at a place.
I'm gonna be as festive as I can.
That's also police night, we should mention. So,
yes.
More importantly than Christmas, honoring our men and women in uniform, and we did so as well with the Barrie Fire Night earlier this year. We had Healthcare Worker Appreciation Night. They actually got to come to the ballpark twice because that was the Brantford game that was postponed. Yep. So we got to honor them both ends of that postponed game. We've got Military Night coming up on July 25th. That's always an exciting one. Absolutely love these themed nights this year. Great selection of fun and promotion and off-field entertainment for the fans to enjoy here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
We mentioned Police Night. The man on deck, Tyler Plumpton. He is a Barrie police officer.
Yeah, Baycats have police services and fire services represented in their lineup. Carson Burns and Orangeville Fire Department. Noah Hall with a 1-2 count. And it's a fly ball to right field. Marcus Connect reaches up, and it goes off his glove. Things just getting from bad to worse for the Leafs. Nothing now, Baycats.
Number 44, Tyler Plumpton.
That was Ricky Phillips at the plate. My mistake. I think I might have said Hull once or twice in that at bat. Phillips with an RBI gets to second. Hull comes in to score. And now Tyler Plumpton. So 4 Baycats to reach base in a row here, and a nightmare of an inning for Chris Nagorski and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Trying to get that third out and get off the field. Crooked number for the Baycats here in the 8th. Love seeing that inning-by-inning line score on the right field scoreboard. It just looks so good.
It looks amazing.
It's a lot like the London scoreboard, actually, now that I think about it.
Guelph has that, too.
Yeah. Makes it real easy to just see the story of the game. And, sometimes you might slip away to the concession stand or the washroom. You want to come back and see what happened. And there it is. You can see inning by inning maybe what you might have missed.
This is a huge at-bat here for Tyler Plumpton. He hasn't reached base safely yet, in jeopardy of losing his streak of making that happen every game he's played this year.
Well, I have here that he singled and scored in the 4th, unless my notes are wrong.
I believe he reached on an error.
Oh, that was an error. Okay. So he reached safely. I guess that would technically keep the streak going. But the stat you have is hits per.
So
at least one hit per game, or
if you reach on an error, it's still an offer.
Yeah. Technically, that's an at bat.
But if he walks, gets hit by a pitch, or gets a hit, keeps the streak alive.
Strike 3, so Plumpton goes down. I'm still going to say Tyler reached base safely in that 4th inning. But anyways, as we go to the 9th inning, it doesn't matter. The Baycats are up by 11 as the Leafs get one last chance here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. Final chance for the Toronto Maple Leafs in this 11-0 Barrie Baycats lead. Ninth inning brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Lachlan Mott is the pinch hitter for the Maple Leafs. He will bat in the spot previously held by Cole Murchison. Murchison was over 3 tonight. Dan Mara on deck, and we've got a pinch hitter for him in the on-deck circle. This one's hit to deep right field, and back at the wall and making the catch is Noel McGarry-Doyle. Hardest hit ball of the night by the Maple Leafs tonight by far.
Yeah, he really had to range back to make that catch, but outfield defense for the Baycats, I would consider it elite just based on their speed alone, and Noel McGarry-Doyle showing exactly why right there.
This is Dionysius Chialtis to bat for the Leafs in the spot held by Dan Mara, second baseman. So manager Rob Butler getting the bench a little bit of work here in this 11-run game.
Dionysius Chialtis.
Charlie Towers in the on-deck circle to hit for Jose Vinicio. So Rob Butler going all bench here in this 9th inning. 11-0 Barrie lead. Brandon Hillier, the 4th pitcher for Barrie tonight. It's a called strike. The one thing the Maple Leafs will definitely need to improve in the second half of the season is their defensive play. 4 errors tonight. As this one on the ground to third, picked up by Jaco, makes the throw, and it's just in time for the out. Toronto has been the basements of the IBL defensively. Most errors committed in the league for most of the year.
There's a lot of defensive philosophies for baseball. Pitching and defense, definitely. Probably most managers, something they key on most over offense, I would say.
Yeah, defense is important, but then again, it doesn't help when your lineup doesn't score runs. So it can keep you in a lot of ball games, but the offense has to produce. And tonight, the Maple Leafs have fallen about as flat as you could expect. Just 6 hits tonight.
Well, I mentioned
against
the stat.
The Baycats.
I mentioned the stat about the Maple Leafs bullpen. One of my favorite baseball phrases: "A manager is only as good as their bullpen."
Yeah, definitely a lot of wisdom in that. Hillier delivers, and it's outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Towers was with the Hamilton Cardinals last season.
And this one's hit short, and it goes off the glove of a sliding Carson Burns and into left field. Seventh hit of the night for the Leafs.
Yeah, tough play there for Carson Burns. He had to slide over to his right and just hopped over his glove that was rising as his slide came to a halt.
Well, Towers will keep us here a little bit longer, and it's back to the top of the order for Lucas Alberti. Well, the Leafs are going to have to figure things out pretty quickly. They're right back here next Thursday night against these Barrie Baycats on July the 4th. Sam McCoy and Dylan Quinn will call that game for us here on Baycats TV as Julius handles PA duties. Oh, 1 pitch. That's a called strike.
You can still find us here on Sunday. Another home game this weekend against the Brantford Red Sox.
Sunday we'll be here, 3:05, and so will Brantford. It'll be the third time the Baycats and Brantford square off in 8 days. Pitch from Hillier. And it's a fly ball to right, and it's an easy catch for Noel McGarry-Doyle. And that's the ball game as the Baycats cruise to an 11-0 victory over the Toronto Maple Leafs here tonight.
The offense really came alive for the Barrie Baycats this evening. A huge 11-0 win on 12 hits, all culminating in a 5-run 8th inning to seal it. And not to mention a great pitching performance started by Juan Benitez, who's going to get the win in this one.
Benitez combining with Brandon Pakala and Brandon Hillier to share shutout honors here tonight as the Baycats thrash the Leafs by a score of 11-0 and make it 9 wins in a row for Barrie against their 400 rival dating back to 2022. Final tonight, Barrie 11, Toronto nothing. We'll see you on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock when the Baycats play the Brantford Red Sox. For Julius, Hern, Brian Backland, and everybody else here at Vintage Throne Stadium, I'm Ben Davy. Good night from Springwater.
This Sunday